instructor-led training, programs, and development. So what were the organizational responses? How did the organization adapt and respond? I don't know of your own, what you were able to do, how you were able to adapt, but the following I feel: creating new business models, rethinking, redefining, and redeploying, retaining and collaborating, remote working, positioning for survival. There was innovation with speed, and a lot of organizations had to review their portfolio in order to optimize it. There was a lot of planning to survive, to revive, and to thrive. And of course, organizations address safety and their core businesses. But I have good news for you. Critical learning needs still made L&D very relevant. L&D was not pushed to the wayside because critical learning needs appeared, because structures change, products change, needs change. There were critical learning needs that should be addressed by L&D. However, this requires serious adaptation on our own part. So, for the rest of this session now, we're now going to look at L&D business. And I have this takeaway for you. You will be able to consider the implication of COVID-19 pandemic on L&D career, identify opportunities for L&D professionals to survive, not only to survive, but you also must be able to thrive. You'll be able to apply relevant adaptation principles to reinvent your L&D business at organization level, at departmental level, and at individual level. You must be able to apply adaptation principles. Those are the takeaways. By the grace of God, I have been in the business of education, training, and learning consultancy for over 30 years, and I've seen a lot of changes, evolution, and adaptation. Training industry says the L&D field is evolving. Adaptation is necessary for our survival. And the same thing with worldwide work. As companies pivot online remote work, strategies that leverage technology to meet learning and development must ensure that employees continue growing. In other words, organizations, institutions, the clients that we serve, as they continue now to work remotely, L&D business in turn has to devise strategies to leverage on technologies in order to meet the new demand of the remote working world. The remote working world. What has been the driver for L&D shift? Before the pandemic, the field of L&D talent development has been witnessing shifts with the global emergence of the fourth industrial revolution, termed digital age and artificial intelligence. So before even the pandemic, L&D has been witnessing shifts in designing, shifts in content development, shifts in delivery, shifts in consultancy, shifts in our approach to our clients. So in order to renew, to refresh, and to reconnect, I'm quoting from McKinsey Global Institute. You may want, so after today, consider the series on business implication of COVID-19 from this particular global institute. So for L&D to renew, refresh their connections to the people they serve, L&D needs to recognize what's happening now and respond in 3 ways. 1 is digital excellence. 2 is safe and contactless engagement. The 3rd one is dynamic customer insight. I'm going to leave digital excellence. So our other guest speakers and facilitators today, they have their roles to look at that for us and how to leverage technology and learning technologies in order to achieve digital excellence in L&D. Safe and contactless engagement. Our training admin, our various organizations will be looking at that for us because there will be different regulations for different countries. So we are now focusing on dynamic customer insight. What does this mean to us? Any attempt, when we talk about dynamic customer insight, means that our approach to designing, to content development, to delivery now takes a new approach, a value chain approach. But before then, rethinking, reinventing, redesigning, and refocusing, and learning agility, they are all different terms used to refer to change. So we can't run away from talking about change. Whenever you see rain, it's all about doing it again. So we are about reinventing for our adaptation. We are about reinventing, rethinking through our vision and mission, redefining our business and refocusing. And of course, learning agility, being able to learn fast in order to embrace the ongoing change due to COVID-19 pandemic. So attempt to reinvent a career, a business, a unit, or an organization as a whole will involve asking the following questions if we want to reinvent. Because the shift to a customer focus redirects our attention from the customer, the clients, to the value chain. The value chain. David Ulrich, 1997, made it so popular in HR Champion, as we know. There is going to be a shift. We are not going to be looking at our clients, our FDA alone, but we would now be looking at who are they serving? What is their own market like? What must they produce? What services must they offer? What new products must they offer? As customers and consumers need change significantly, organizations focus also on change means that there are opportunities for us. Now, let's look at it together. Your market is a government, ministry, department, or agency. Now, maybe health. Now, the focus of that organization or MDA is changing. The needs of the market is changing. Your client is in crisis. Are you going to say you are going to still be offering the same programs or products or services to this very same client of yours? It goes also for those of us who are consultants, serving different organizations. If the needs of the customers, of your clients change, your own training offerings or L&D programs must change. However, this drives the need for designing learning and development programs with a value chain perspective. That is what we are talking about. Our perspective now is value chain, not just looking at that organization, but what does that organization do? What is the market analysis of the market of the organization you are serving? Not about them alone now, but about their own customers. That is the value chain perspectives that we need to adopt. Then for L&D to renew, refresh our connections, our programs. Now that we are taking a value chain approach, what should we do with our programs? Number one, skills for remote learning. We have to boost our skills We cannot continue. L&D professionals, we cannot continue to be cobblers without shoes. We have done a lot of that, enough of that for years. We are busy with clients. It is time for us also to boost our skills and develop competencies beyond 21st century skills. What are these skills? Skills for virtual learning, analytical skills, critical thinking, problem-solving skills, decision-making skills. We must encourage lifelong learning in our institutes, in our organizations, and as individuals. Indeed, we must realize that institutions of learning do not transform or translate to learning organizations overnight. There are things, there are skills that we must have. Those of us who are familiar with Peter saying, we know that there are 6 skills for becoming a learning organization. We must have what is called system thinking, mental models, personal mastery skills, team learning, shared vision, and of course, dialogue skills. We must boost our skills. We also need collaboration and team working skills. And we also must be able to forge linkages with organizations, experts for partnership. Indeed, when the pandemic was, about being at the peak, competitors were also, collaborating. We also need change management skills. Those of us in L&D career and human resource management at large, the broad human resource, we must be able to change faster, be comfortable with change, and be change agents. We also must develop our technical skills, and then we also must do one thing that can help us as institutions. We must give training skills to the people that have learning technologies, technical skills. In our organizations, we all have ICT people, technical people with learning technologies as skills. We must be able to boost their skills in training, facilitation, delivery in order to do more for us. Data analytics is another skill. Before the VUCA world became so disruptive, data analytics was on the rise. It was on the rise because workers, executives, CEOs do not only need to be able to analyze, they also must be able to do what? Translate data to information, interpret data, gain insights, gain foresight, and even look at their insights and be able to make critical decisions. Reduction in manual and repetitive roles is prompting the need for workers to acquire analytical and problem-solving skills. We need to look at our program of portfolio. What is your portfolio of programs like now? Are your programs still relevant? We need to look at ourselves again. Who are we? What is your vision? What do you want to become in another 5 to 10 years? What is the reason for your existence? For many of us, the reason for our existence and who we are might not change, but how we deliver the mission will have to change. The strategy has to change. Because we might not be able to do things the same way as we were doing it before the pandemic. The next normal or the new normal might not be exactly the same because certain things that have been experimented are going to stay. So strategies for achieving our vision, we'll have to look at it. How do we work and how do we deliver our products and services? How do we work and how do we deliver our products and services? What is our method? Now, that is why today we are having experts in learning technologies to speak to us. Delivery for us is changing. Instructor-led programs, is becoming so minimal with regulations. How do we build capacity to be able to take advantage of these emerging opportunities? L&D professionals, there are opportunities because there are new learning needs. And we must realize that not all learning needs are training needs. Learning needs could be coaching. It could just be to develop a manual. It could be hand-holding. It could be mentoring. These are the areas that we need to look at. Another critical question that can help us to be able to weave employers and customers into our value chain is to ask ourselves, who are the customers? Who are our own customers? And what is the market of our customers like? Market analysis of our customers. Because we are now helping our clients, our MDA, the different organizations we are supporting, we are now positioning ourselves, reinventing ourselves to be able to help them to meet their own market needs. We have to learn to design new programs. New programs. We have to expand our portfolio. We all need to look at our brochures over and over again. Those programs are still relevant. Are they still relevant for the market of your organization? Would the program still help your clients to deliver excellently to their own customers? Some of these programs, they are not exhaustive today, they are not comprehensive, they are just to sort of sensitize you to be able to think through, come together as a team in your organization and come up with new programs that can meet the new demands of your clients. Digitalization of administrative services, especially for public service, is an area you can look at in order to expand your offering. What about health sector transformation? Health sector transformation, a lot of opportunities now in that particular sector. Digital marketing skills, we have to acquire that, and we also must be able to train on it. Leading virtual teams. A lot of leaders today are leading their teams virtually. Because of the remote working. We can design and develop programs on leading virtual teams effectively or virtual team leadership. Then we also need to look at the dynamics of remote working. Many organizations, CEOs, leaders at all strata would love a program on this, the dynamics of remote working, because they want to succeed in this era by not having their staff on site has challenges for them. I've talked about health sector transformation. We can also design project management for time of crisis. Project management for time of crisis. At this point, I have an assignment for you. An assignment for you now. You are going to craft a title. Craft a title. Can I have your listening skills now? Craft a title for a program which content we focus on collaboration, connectivity, and communication for a client who has a lot of external teams and who has 50% distributed internal teams, internal members to work from home. Chat it up. We'll look at it later. Give a title. Come up with a title. A title for a program that will be focusing on collaboration, connectivity, and communication. Your client has many external teams. And of course, 50% of the team members are working from home. Craft a title for a program that will address these needs. Where you are, chat it up. We'll look at it later. Those are a few things on coming up with more relevant new training programs to meet the new demand of our clients. Project management, change management, leadership for virtual teams, leading in time of crisis, remote team working. Now, in order to survive, we are going beyond non-training products and services this morning. And what are the other things that you should be able to do as an L&D professional, L&D institution, MDI, consulting firm? What are the other things that you should be thinking of right now? What about Prometric Test Center for Certification and Professional Institute? Have you thought of that? Where I'm learning to do my project management certification. You pay dollars for this. And in addition, you also pay for the examination. You may want to consider that. You also need to consider becoming a registered education provider for professional institute. Certified professional institute. We are in different nations now. Some of us can do this for CIPM, for NITAD, for NIM, for certifying organizations in Gambia, in Ghana, in our various countries. We must be able to look for them. Look for PMI. Look for people that do Sigma 5 and Sigma 6 as well. Look for people. Look for professional bodies in your country. Can you set up a center to do prometric tests for them? Can you be a registered education provider? Then another thing we can do is you can put a team together. You can also do capacity assessment for recruitment, promotion, appointment, conversion for various reasons. And also do evaluation and impact assessment of programs and projects. There are a lot of projects going on in emerging economies, like our countries in West Africa. Ability, capacity to evaluate the impact of these projects will earn you revenue and help your MDA, your company, your organization, and you as an individual to survive. How about research services? I was one of the respondents of a particular research during the pandemic, during the crisis, during the lockdown. Facts and myths of COVID-19. I'm sure such a research, the findings will be useful to the governments of our nations, of our various countries. Look into this. Develop capacity to write winning proposals for research grants. United Nations, all of them, US Embassy, many, even our state, our own government sponsor research, but you must be able to write winning proposals to get grants for research. This is one of the expanded roles of L&D professionals. Let us stop narrowing down ourselves to training and instructor-led, programs. You can also do research on remote working and productivity. Can you think of more research topics? You can come up with many. If you can look at the problems around, you can come up with what? A statement of a problem that is researchable. You will need to develop a network of teams, have different types of teams, design team, empower your design team, build their capacities beyond following or using ADDIE. I have read about the death of ADDIE. Now I am seeing the death of ADDIE because we cannot continue to follow it. We have to be agile. You have to use more iterative approaches now to design your programs, to gain speed and be resilient. Come up also with plan ahead teams who will be looking at the horizon for you, monitoring change, forecasting, functional teams, project teams, research team, and make sure that they are empowered with authority and they share information. Try also to promote rapid problem solving and execution under pressure. Rapid problem solving and execution under pressure. And then we must foster collaboration and transparency while we are developing various teams. You need various teams. This is the era, because members of organizations must be given opportunities to work in such a way that they can complement other people. And in any case, no single organizational member can produce or possess or has all the competencies required to deliver services now. Just want to mention this on delivery change. On the delivery challenge, sorry. I know we are going to look at virtual learning technologies later after this. But our challenge, and please note this, when the sessions begin, we have 3 categories of learning activities: content, knowledge, and comprehension activities. Because of their passivity, because learners sometimes can do it on their own, we can still use webinar, online lecture, books, videos, pre-work, develop training manuals. Where we need digital support in this era, where we need support are in what? In structured exercises. Look, I'm giving you an assignment now. There is no interaction yet. You have charted your title, but that's your client. I may not have an opportunity for today to debrief. Learner-to-learner interaction is a challenge in structured exercises when you do it online. Small group assignment, games, collaborative learning, small group discussion. And then the third area, skill practices, covering psychomotor, intellectual, and interpersonal skills. How do we go about that? How do we go about that? How do we enhance that? You are going to fasten your seatbelt in order to gain from the following, the next 2 sessions, on this. What we are seeing today, I'm quoting from training industry now. What we are about to see if the next significant event in the evolution of the training industry is this post-pandemic era. We are about seeing it. But if so, if the pandemic era or post-COVID-19 era is the next event in the evolution of our L&D businesses, if it is so, then we need to know that normalizing of remote and virtual working and learning becomes very important, and therefore, not only important, skills to do it also becomes very, very important. We need to know in conclusion that the next normal will not look like the years preceding COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has altered our lifestyles, and many of the things that we have experimented might have come to stay. Participants today who have connected, I want to say in rounding up, connect to your organization mission and vision, make yourself valuable, make yourself visible, make yourself available. Learn to learn. The illiterate of the 21st century is not the person that cannot learn, but the one that cannot unlearn and relearn. Find a mentor. Think laterally. Embrace change. Support your organization. And it may not be palatable. For good governance, our organizations may not want to shy away from letting go of those of us who are not willing to learn, not willing to change, not willing to adapt, not willing to add value to the organization, to the institution where they are serving. So as employers as well, those of us in consulting, we need to step up our game. Those of us who are employees, be empathic, be very, very empathic to your organization. Your organization is going through crisis, transformation, changes. Come up with suggestions, form improvement teams at departmental level, and be willing to help your organization not only to survive, but to thrive. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.